Warning: the following presentation includes solely ideas from the Europe West suggestion forums. It doesn't include actual upcoming champions. All abilities have been performed by professional dummies and no champions have been heard in the making.
What's up everybody, this is the Stalker Ale and I'm bringing you the last CCSS winner of 2012, Ink, the Black Sickle, which was created by summoner Sando no Mai. Ink is a ninja rat who carries a weight and a sickle, which are featured in his abilities. He fits the role of an AD caster assassin using energy. The more kills and assists he gains, changes his appearance from grey to black. This is lost upon death. We'll start with, Back to the Shadows, his innate passive. When Ink kills an enemy, he turns stealth for a few seconds. The second part is that Ink regains 30 energy when he picks up his weight. The weight will also jump back to him if he is too far away, but this returns no energy. Next up is his first ability, Death Around the Corner. Ink swings his weight in a half circle in front of him. The weight deals full damage and drops on the ground immediately when it hits. If the chain hits an enemy, damage is reduced. Then the weight will rotate around the enemy and drop on the ground. Note that the weight will remain on the ground until it is picked up. Should Ink not carry his weight, he will use a sickle to dash to the enemy, dealing high damage, and dash back to his starting position. His second ability, Backstab, is an auto attack steroid if the weight is carried, which causes Ink's next 3 auto attacks to deal bonus physical damage. Each attack teleports Ink to the back of his enemy. Once the third auto attack is done, and Ink still has his weight, he smashes it onto the ground in front of him, pushing all nearby enemies back and leaving the weight on the ground. If he doesn't have his weight on the third auto attack, nothing will happen besides the blink. Should the weight be on the ground when Ink casts a skill, he will instead use a sickle to do a 360-degree spinning slash around him, dealing damage and penetrating a percentage of his enemy's armor. Precious Burden is the name of his third ability. While carrying the weight, he will throw it on the ground, slowing enemies hit by 60% for 1 second and leaving the weight. While it is on the ground, it functions as a ward granting vision in a small area around it. When Ink is not holding the weight, Ink will instead blink towards the weight current location, picking it up and slashing in a circle around him, fearing enemies hit for 1 second and dealing damage to them. His ultimate is called The Gathering. When the weight is held, Ink shoots his weight to our target location, damaging and pushing along any enemy hit. The weight will stay at the location until it is picked up or retrieved by another skill. If Ink does not hold the weight, he instead dashes to the weight, damaging and pushing along all enemies in his path. While playing Incan Lane, it will be very easy for a jungler to gank. Once he is on his way, make sure to use a W while carrying the weight. After the third auto attack, you should now be behind your enemy and push him back, dropping the weight. When this is done, use the E without picking up the weight as a heavy CC, giving your jungler 1 second of time to follow up. If he gets away, pick up the weight and use E twice to close the gap and fear anyway. If there are no minions, you can use Q into E or a double E to initiate from longer range. You'd use these longer range combos as well when coming from the jungle yourself. The high mobility also makes it easy to escape ganks. If your E isn't enough to escape, activate W and attack an enemy to blink behind it. Minions will turn and fire at you because you dealt damage, so you can use them just like the champion to teleport to the backs and get away. All in all, Ink is a very powerful all-in champion, similar to Evelyn. The passive makes it possible to go in very deep for a kill and then escape due to your stealth and high mobility. Ink has powerful dashes to get close to enemies. Mostly the weight parts of the skills will function as CC, and the sickle parts will function as damage dealers with high damage, armor penetration and low cooldown. This makes you think of whether you should pick up the weight and regain energy plus CC, or keep chasing someone down relentlessly. As I said, there are a few announcements to make. Firstly, I'm not a permanent narrator, and I will do my best to improve each CCSS. Secondly, we're still looking for people to help us with the artwork and video. If you're interested, be sure to contact us through our mail, which is in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the CCSS. We'll see us next year. Happy holidays everyone, and never forget, one time your champion could be the winner. So keep sending us your suggestions, you never know. Until next time.